Well, okay, now I'm on. Well, good afternoon, folks. Hajim Zero here, back with another quick, was a TV review. I'm just putting this, well, you'll see the screen eventually, me sitting down so I can get comfortable, but I'm just showing this off because season 6, I met one of the extras. He was blown up by Daryl on the bike on the road, so I was like to show that off. Not really gonna say his name unless you can read it in whatchamacallit, but other than that, it was a nice little cool thing. I met him when I was working at Office Depot. He just walked in and I think I sold him like a cell phone case or something, and he asked about getting his screen fixed. And next to it, we have one of the iconic semi other things from this season, and his the Rick Shone relationship. Nice little diversion from the comic book, yada yada yada. And of course, my sword sits right in front of it, and the samurai book, and other little giblets. So, diving right into season 6, I'm gonna try to talk real quickly about the core aspect, and a little bit seeps in from season 5 a little bit, but of course, it's continuing, the whole community aspect. In season 6, you have Alexandria, of course, the Wolves, if you want to count them, but I don't really see them as a community because they really don't have a home base, but you can argue that in the comment section. You have around the mid-season, the Hilltop being introduced, and then, of course, the Saviors who've been picking at the encounterment back and forth, and then the Kingdom, who are teased, I think, for 2 of the last episodes. So, in the beginning of the season, it was about this big giant herd in the quarry, and of course, how Alexandria hasn't been overrun is because they've been lured to this one big spot. And what I liked about this season the most is that the first half, it all takes place in like one day, and like with season 4, all the characters do eventually get split up and they have their own different stories. And of course, one in particular, we get the introduction to the next group of the next community, which is the Saviors. And this season was also, of course, the second time, of course, they had did the cliffhanger, of you know we don't know who had killed who, and of course by now all you guys know what I'm talking about. So they were saying on audio commentary it was more building up to the fear, in the story, and people were pissed about who had got killed. And me personally, I liked what they did. It was just the fact that it was much more of an irritation for people who didn't read the comic book, because I read the book, and even if it happened to him or not, uh, the way it panned out, I wouldn't have been as mad. And even when was it when this particular character, when him and another one got swarmed by a couple of walkers, and it looked like he died, I wasn't that mad either, because like I said, if they're dead in the book, I'm kind of expecting it to be on the show. And 2 characters in particular who are still alive at this point is Morgan, who has the Aikido stick, who we get more depth in this season, and Carol. Like I said, both characters are dead, but they changed it on the show. So, I liked some of the additional material stuff, little tidbits they put in season 6. I like it when they write new material, and it's kind of nice how it's the glue that kind of gets into the next one. I know the mid-season premiere. I know one of the episodes when Jesus, who's a new character from the Hilltop, he's introduced. I know some people didn't like it. They said it was filler, but I really didn't think it was filler. I think it was necessary to introduce the next piece part of the show, and then they got more information a little bit about who the Saviors were, and then X, Y, and Z. So I really hate when they say it's filler 9 times out of 10, because this is how I see a filler episode. And I'm saying this because I watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z back in my day, and they used to do that a lot. They even had filler sagas. If you can rip that particular piece out of the show, yeah, or out of the canon, and and the rest of the story can still flow, then that's filler. Yeah, so I'm not gonna throw out any examples. The basic thing I can say, if it's a giant deleted scene that can work and you pull it out, then yeah, that is filler. So hopefully I didn't butcher that, but hopefully you get the gist. Another thing that I noticed, one of the other additional themes of this season, uh, was really the aspect of killing threats. Well, one of the themes of the series, and I'm saying this because it goes into who Morgan is, and the real reason why I'm mentioning him, because every single somewhat season or story shift arc, they have at least one moral character, and they always end up getting killed. And I heard a new theory today, or no, it was yesterday, that Carl might be the next additional, moral compass. And with these shows and with The Walking Dead, they usually end up killing, the previous moral character. They've done it about 3 times up, no, 2 times up to this point. Dale was the moral compass character, and what was it? Season 1 and 2, and then he had died. Then Herschel was there for at least 3 seasons, and he gets killed. Yeah, or I take that back, 4 seasons. Let me see. He was in 2, 3, 2, 3, and 4. So it's 3 seasons, and he gets killed. And then Morgan is the next one who goes on this Zen Buddhist feeling. And the thing is that I see the similarity with him and Batman. He is going to do what he has to stop you, but he's not going to kill you. And I'm kind of a mixed bag on this, because you can only go so far to help someone if they are mentally crazy, and you can rehabilitate them. And I personally had a rehabilitation, but I wasn't killing people. It was for something else, and it can work as long as it's in a controlled environment. But with Rick's character now, he's literally even told Morgan he doesn't take chances anymore, and I kind of don't blame him, because one, he has an infant child in the world, and it's not just about his safety, but his kid's safety. And I think that's how he overall sees the picture, and that's how I kind of saw it. If you're a parent, you're going to protect your kid no matter what. You're not going to take a risky chance. Pretty much fuck everybody else in that moment. Yeah, my kid's survival is key point. So, it's kind of different now on the show. People who are currently seeing season 8, but I'm really saying that because when the wolves attack, he leaves one of them alive that he personally talked to. And at the end of the day, I don't condone killing either. And I got into a small debate on Facebook with someone, because, the whole gun control thing. If someone runs up in your house or vandalize something, and it was just a funny scenario. If you want to ask me about it, I'll tell you in the comment section. But pretty much, me personally, I try to avoid killing someone anyway, because of course with our laws now in certain states, they'll say manslaughter versus defending yourself. But personally, I don't get off on shooting or killing anyone. That's just not who I am. Pardon my French, an ass beating, but cutting you loose, and letting the words of Batman, I'm not gonna kill you, but I ain't got to save you either. And that's my breaking point. I'd rather live with you potentially, you living or dying is a chance, versus me actually being your judge, jury, and executioner. Again, that's just my personal opinion, But living in this world, that's pretty much what it is. A lot of people had said on a poll that he should have killed the wolf, and but the contradiction, the funny thing is that even Morgan has said it on the show. If I wouldn't have saved the wolf was with the doctor character who had a wound, and eventually the wolf had ended up saving her, which in retaliation the doctor had ended up saving Carl, who got shot in the eye. So it came a full circle, and it was just mind blowing. I didn't think of it like that, until the second time I watched it, of course, and I was like, oh yeah, he's completely right. Yeah, but if you really think about it, when the herd had came in, the wolves are indirectly responsible for that one because they were the ones that threw the Molotov cocktail and they rammed the truck in the side of the building of that structure, causing it to fall, and the walkers are coming to the tower. Yeah, I mean into Alexandria, but you know, that moral compass thing was one of the things I think from season 5 I didn't get a chance to touch on, and I say that because Morgan had caught Rick in the moment of killing someone, but it was justified though. So if you saw the episode at the end of season 5, you know what I'm talking about. Pretty much beyond that, that's a bunch of season 6, and of course, with the introduction of Negan. Was so well hidden, but it was tiptoed a lot around throughout the mid half season of the episodes, and I was at least expecting for them to make another season before they got to Negan, because and I'm saying this because I was reading the books and it felt like forever till they got to that point, because you had so many conflicts, but I guess they condensed it down just for the show. And the same thing for All Out War. I heard another YouTuber say All Out War, both parts should really be 2 seasons. And I was like, nah, that's too much. What they're most likely going to do is pretty much just like the comic book of All Out War Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 is going to be the first of season half, and Part 2 is going to be the second half. And we're probably going to move on, to the Whisper arc right after that. So that's my assumption. If they write in new stuff, which they possibly do in between episodes anyway, just to fill up the episode block, and they're usually good episodes, they do move the story along. That's what I'm pro for. But I really can't wait to review season 7, because it was a couple of things that I caught on a little bit later of about Negan and the Saviors and the whole system set up. And again, they had even somewhat teased it in season 6. The Saviors, they have a lot of people, and they are negotiable, but they're only negotiable if you do what they say. And they usually have to end up killing one person in the group to make that point. And that's the official staple that they mean business. If you just give them what they want at that point, they don't mess with you. And the crappy part is that Negan and his lieutenants, they're not the ones to provoke anything, but people in that camp do, and that's how additional people get killed. So, it is kind of a messed up thing. And like I said, when I get to season 7, I'll talk about it, because me personally, if I was in the Alexandrians group or even in the Saviors group, most likely I would have killed Negan a long time ago. Yeah, that's the way it is. But the catch is that someone much worse might come in to rule, possibly one of his lieutenants. And Negan was the one, that was edge balancing it, but he's the one who was in charge. And what Comics Explained said, the main dominant reason that Negan is in charge and feared so much is because he probably brought all these people together in the beginning of the apocalypse, and he had caught on to what was going on quickly, and they immediately fell behind him. So he pretty much won, the zombie lottery ticket. And then when he was telling other people about this system he was set up, they were kind of agreeing, okay, this can work, especially if we kill one other person in that group, and then they'll definitely, agree to us. And we got the land and the geography and the outposts. We know how to redirect the walkers, which I'll later talk about in season 7. because I really think they're the same walkers that appear in season 8. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I can really think of. I know I had some more points I probably forgot to talk about because I had came up with them in my head. I really don't write this down. So, guys, got any comments? You know, anything I missed for season 6, I'll discuss them with you in the comment section. Other than that, talk to you guys later. Peace.